Today I'm ranking all the live-action Star Wars Disney Plus shows. Let's jump right into it. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Christopher, and now that Star Wars The Acolyte is done, it's finished, it's time for me to rank all of the Star Wars live-action Disney Plus shows, how I like them, from great to awful. So I'll be using TierMaker once again to rank this stuff as I have in the past. So as you can see, if we take a look at my screen here, we have 6 Star Wars live-action Disney Plus shows now. So we have in order The Mandalorian, The Book of Boba Fett, Kenobi, Andor, Ahsoka, and last but not least, The Acolyte. So before I jump into the ranking though, I don't hate any of the Star Wars content that has come out, either under the George Lucas Star Wars or the Disney Star Wars. I enjoy all Star Wars, but of course there are ones that I enjoy more than others. Therefore, that's how I will be ranking them, either great, good, okay, bad, or awful. But I'll just come out and say I don't think any of them were awful. So let's go in order as how they were released. As I mentioned, The Mandalorian, Boba Fett, Kenobi, Andor, Ahsoka, and then The Acolyte. So let's start with the first one, The Mandalorian. So the first 2 seasons of The Mandalorian were solid. They had great episodes. There were a couple slower episodes in each season, but overall solid episodes. The second season being the best season by far. And then we got to the 3rd season where things kind of took a turn, and not for worse. It didn't take a turn for the worse. It was still great. It just wasn't as good as the first 2 seasons, where the first 2 seasons focused more on Din Djarin and Grogu, where the 3rd season kind of focused on the Mandalorian as like a whole, like as a group, as a creed, rather than just Din Djarin. So we got to see more Bo-Katan than Din Djarin in some episodes, I feel. Which I'm fine with. It was great to see. And there were some other episodes in Season 3 that brought in a lot more cameos this time, and I know that took a lot of people out of it. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed seeing Jack Black in Season 3. And even Lizzo did a great job in her role there as well. So I'm gonna rank The Mandalorian as great because it's still one of my favorite Disney Plus live-action Star Wars shows to date. And then we got The Book of Boba Fett, which was great. I love Boba Fett. He's my second favorite character. But there were some episodes that had some stuff in it that was kind of odd, like the speeder bike gang that looked like Power Rangers. I didn't really go for that. The modders that fixed Fennec Shan, that was cool, but it was kind of weird in a way as well. But it was still an enjoyable show. It was neat to see the flashback and how Boba trained with the Tuskens and stuff, and really learned who he was. And it was overall a great show, but it just wasn't what I expected. I expected to see Boba Fett kicking some ass, like going through a hit list and, taking out people that wronged him in the past. So it wasn't what I expected, but it was still a great show. But for me, I'll have to put it in okay, because I feel like it was only just okay compared to the other shows that I'm ranking on this list. Next we got Kenobi, and again, overall just a great show. Some slower episodes, and I don't know, compared to like the production value on Kenobi, didn't feel like it was as good as some of the other shows that are on this list here. It was great to see the flashback scenes with Obi-Wan and Anakin. It was great to see Vader and Obi-Wan again. The lightsaber duels were decent. The They weren't as good as some of the other lightsaber duels in a couple of these other series that we've gotten, but they were still good. And probably the best episode in the Kenobi series was the one where you got Obi-Wan and Vader again dueling, and you get Obi-Wan cracking his mask there. We got the Inquisitor that looked kind of odd compared to what we've seen his species in the past, because he's the same species that we saw in Revenge of the Sith on Utapau. So that was a little odd. It didn't take me out of the show at all, but it was just kind of an odd choice on the creators, from the creators. So that's another nitpick I had. And other than that, like Reva, I know a lot of people had trouble with Reva. I didn't mind her. I didn't love her, but I didn't mind her. I didn't hate her. So I think Kenobi, I'm going to put it down with the Book of Boba Fett as well. I don't know. I almost want to put it under bad, but I did enjoy it. So I'm going to put it under okay. Andor, I loved Andor. The writing for this show was incredible. It was written by, the showrunner was Tony Gilroy, who wrote Rogue One. We got a lot of new characters, a lot of backstory into how Andor kind of grew up. Well, I guess grew up, but also a different side of Andor as well. We got to see that other side of him before he joined the rebellion, and kind of how he joined the rebellion. And I cannot wait for season 2, which comes out I think late next year, early next year, possibly in the spring of next year. Fingers crossed. But overall, it was a fantastic show. I think it was one of the best series next to The Mandalorian, because The Mandalorian's still my favorite series, just because it's so different. So Andor, I'm going to put up with great. Ahsoka, for me, again, fantastic series. The lightsaber duels in it were amazing. We got Anakin Skywalker flashbacks from the Clone Wars. We got Anakin, videotapes, hologram tapes in some scenes. We got all our favorite Rebels characters on screen. We got Chopper, we got Hera. All the actors and actresses in this show did such a good job of the portrayal of these characters that we know and love from Rebels. But for me, it just wasn't as good as Andor and The Mandalorian. So I'm going to put it as good for me there. And then last, we have The Acolyte, which I know a lot of people didn't like. A lot of people hated it, and a lot of people just didn't bother watching it because they don't like Leslie Headland, they don't like Disney Star Wars, and some of the stuff that Disney has done in the past. So it kind of got some bad reviews. I really enjoyed it. I really loved it. The lightsaber duels were incredible, the best since the prequels. The lightsaber duels are either on par or maybe slightly better than the prequel duels, in my opinion. And I did do a video on that, so definitely check that out. The acting was great. Some of the acting was great. So Sol, Lee Jung-jae was great in his role. Kymir, Manny Jacinto was fantastic in his role. Osha and May, their story was kind of meh. But everyone else in the series was great, in my opinion. Basil was another character that kind of wasn't great. Like, he kind of just sabotaged Sol's ship for no apparent reason, it seemed like, to me, in my opinion. But overall, the series was great. I really loved it. I love the Jedi, the duels, the lightsaber duels, and I love the mystery, the murder mystery plot that it had, where they were trying to solve the mystery of who killed these two Jedi that died at the beginning of the the series, and then it continued on with the killing of more Jedi, and then there was a big cover up. So I'm all for that kind of storyline, and for those reasons, I'm ranking it above Boba Fett, Book of Boba Fett, and Kenobi, and Ahsoka, just because the lightsaber duels were a lot better than the duels in Ahsoka, in my opinion. Like I said, the best lightsaber duels since the prequels in this series. So yeah, that's my ranking right there. That's going to be my ranking right there. That's going to be... So yeah, that's my ranking right there. So in the great tier, we have Mandalorian in order. Mandalorian, Andor, The Acolyte, and then Ahsoka in the good tier, Book of Boba Fett, and Kenobi in the okay tier. I didn't think any of them were really bad or awful, for that matter. None of it was awful, and I didn't really think any of the series overall were bad. Like, each of them had their slower episodes, or episodes that weren't great as others in their series. But none of the series were bad, in my opinion. But I feel like okay, like the bottom two were okay. They were overall, they were good. They were entertaining, but they were just lacking something for me, where the other ones were. The other ones I can see myself rewatching more in the future. Like Mandalorian, I've rewatched some of their episodes. Ahsoka, I have. The Acolyte, I already have as well. I've rewatched some of the episodes multiple times already. Whereas the Book of Boba Fett and Kenobi, I didn't really do a repeat watch on some of the episodes there, if any of them. So that's kind of my a way I kind of decide what I like and don't like by how much I rewatch stuff. Same goes with the movies, but that's my ranking there. Let me know what you think of my ranking and where you would rank these shows. Let me know all that down in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and click to watch one of my other reviews. Thank you so much for watching, and may the Force be with you.